What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Crossplay, our video game podcast here at the Whatnauts. We're recording this live Saturday, April 9th, 2022. This is episode 113. Coming up on today's show, PlayStation has announced its Game Pass competitor. I'm going to the BTS concert next weekend, and Kyle has a new Gundam neon light right behind him, if you're watching on video. But we'll get to all of that in just a bit. My name is Gino Viteri. I am joined by Kyle Springer. What's up, Kyle?
Hello. I have moved halfway across the country.
You have moved halfway across the country. We'll get to that in just a second as I introduce Ignacio Rojas.
Gino, what the hell happened to you here?
We'll talk about that in just a second as I introduce Alan Busby. What's up, Alan?
Reading reviews for hours and hours.
Reviews?
I had to buy new earbuds, so I.
I see. Okay.
That kind of review.
Yeah,
okay.
so I've been living in the review section of Amazon and miscellaneous websites.
Okay. I feel like the best review is buying it yourself and figuring it out.
But that costs money, Gino.
Yeah, well, you figure you know what I mean? You make mistakes. You make mistakes and then you figure it out. You know what I'm saying? You won't make the same mistake again. I messed up there a little bit. Okay, so yeah, my hair's purple, guys. Okay, my hair's purple. You can't really see it. And the lighting that I have doesn't accent the purple so much. But if you have like white light on my hair, then you see purple. So what does it look like to you guys here on camera?
Purple.
Does it just look? It looks purplish,
more like a maroon, like a dark red.
Yeah, right. That's what I see. What it looks like. Yeah. Because I have warm lights on me. I have warm lights on me, so it makes it.
So what happened to you?
So I did a stream for my birthday. As you know, my birthday. I was not here for that episode that weekend. I did a stream for my birthday, and the goal of the stream was to reach 100 subscribers. Right. Mm-hmm. If I reach that point, I will bleach my hair and dye it purple. For the BTS concert is the idea. You know,
yeah,
I will do that for this.
Of course.
Gotcha.
And then the stretch thing was 200 subscribers to get a tattoo. I was getting heavily nervous.
SpongeBob tattooed on your ass. Right?
I was getting extremely nervous that I was gonna get to that.
Didn't kind of finally raid you?
So what's funny about this whole thing as well is so they did, but I reached the 100 subscribers, right? So I had to bleach my hair. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, I will do it live on stream for the next time, in the next few streams that I do it, whatever. In that stream when I'm bleaching my hair live on camera, Kind of Funny decides to raid me. So
that's awesome.
I thought it was so funny because I was like, did you guys not check what I was doing before you decided to raid?
You're just hey, that Gino, he's a good guy. Let's go over there.
It's so funny to think them coming from, okay, they've been playing some game, I don't know, MLB, whatever. Uh-huh. They played, okay, see ya. And then he comes to Gino, he's here. Bleaching his hair.
So I'm like, wow, you guys are like, this is so embarrassing, whatever. And then me saying that, my girlfriend that is dyeing my hair, she like touches my eye with bleach. So that moment, it's like, it got crazy. It got crazy. So, obviously still grateful for that raid, but that was just such a funny, of all the moments, you know what I mean? Like, right. Of all the times that you could raid, you decide to raid when I'm bleaching my hair live on camera for the first time ever. But yeah, that happened. Now my hair's purple for the BTS concert. And I'm going to the BTS concert next Saturday. So very excited.
When are you getting that tattoo?
I'm not, because didn't reach the goal. So sorry, you know what I mean? Didn't reach that goal, so I'm not going to get the tattoo. I was getting real nervous. It was getting close though, but we did not reach it, so I'm fortunate there. But I think my hair turned out pretty well. I was a little nervous because everyone was making me feel nervous. They were like, "Oh, you're gonna burn your hair off. You're gonna mess up your hair. It's not gonna be curly anymore." And it's like, Liz, I'm I'm alive still. You know what I mean? I'm still alive.
You should just straighten
Looks
it.
good.
Go full trunks.
Go
Straight
full
in.
trunks. I have posted a picture where I had it wet and completely down with my sword. I don't know if you've seen this on Twitter. I have the jacket with the sword. I have my hair down. I'm Trunks, dude. I'm literally Trunks right now.
From the
For real.
future.
Yeah, exactly. So the other big thing we got here is Kyle moved across the country, of course.
I did. I
tell us
moved in
about
with
that.
my girlfriend. It's been fantastic. It's been hectic for a while. I finally got all my furniture and stuff delivered yesterday. Is when they finally came. If you guys haven't noticed, we haven't really been making podcasts for the past couple weeks. We were trying to do audio only stuff on my laptop, and it wasn't working. It was not gonna be a good thing. So we were just like, you know what? Let's just take some time off. But yeah, finally got most of my podcast room set up today. Like Gino mentioned, I have this gigantic, bright ass neon Gundam sign.
Looks incredible. Looks incredible.
My girlfriend got that for me a while back. Our house is still kind of a mess because there's boxes everywhere. Moving's expensive. We've spent so much money. So
did you get movers or like people to come in and set your stuff up or no?
Nope, just us.
Moved
just
it
me.
across, got it delivered, and then you did it.
Yep.
Wait, so how do you do it then?
Magic.
Because I might you moved states, didn't you?
Yeah. So I got one of those like pod moving storage box things that they like deliver to your house. They have movers if you want to hire them. But I was just like, it's just my stuff. I left most of my big furniture that was there. So it was just all the small boxes and stuff like that. And then they came and picked up that big container and delivered it. Now out in Oklahoma, out in Central Time Zone.
Oklahoma.
What is that? So it's
I have no idea how the song goes.
So it's 5:30 for you right now, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
5:30
5:30 in the afternoon.
Oh wow.
Now this is what we have here. The room that you're in now is just your studio now, correct? It's not your bedroom anymore.
Correct.
That's
no,
incredible.
So the house I was at previously was also only my podcast.
Was it really?
It was smaller. It was much smaller than this room.
Wait, Gino, where do you think Kyle would have slept in that room?
I've completely forgot what the room looks like now. I've already completely forgot what it looks like. I'm imagining a bed behind him for some reason. I don't know why. I should probably go back and look at old videos.
It's comics and stuff back behind me that I had back there, and that.
It's fair. There could have been a bed just off screen, just off the side. There could have been like a bed space,
on the opposite side.
On the opposite side,
no, like just off to the side, like just barely off view of the camera.
No, we could see the walls. We could see the walls.
Where do we?
Yeah, but it's a matter of perspective, though.
Where do we think I am right now?
Honestly, I have no idea. To me, you're in a corridor.
Door.
To me, you're in a corridor somewhere.
I'm in the corner of my bedroom. All over there is the bed, the TV, the door, the closet, and this right here is like the balcony door.
You mean the patio?
Well, yeah, I guess patio. Isn't patio the front of the house?
No.
Balcony's the back of the house?
No, the front's the porch, Gino. Front's the porch.
Wait, so the balcony is
too,
only if it's the elevated floor then, right?
Yeah, a balcony is elevated.
Okay, what if I'm on the 4th floor of my apartment building? Is it a balcony then?
Yeah, that's a balcony.
Well, I'm not. So.
You don't have a patio or whatever you have.
You don't have the 4th floor of that.
I'm on the 1st floor.
So, like, I have a balcony.
I have a balcony in your room?
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
There's a balcony.
A balcony is an outdoor platform that extends from the exterior wall of an apartment, usually on the 2nd floor or above, and is always attached to the building.
Okay.
Whereas a patio is typically found on the ground level and may or may not be attached.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
But that didn't say if it's to the front or
So
the back.
what would be the difference between a patio and a backyard? Because in Spanish it's the same. It's the same.
I don't know.
Yeah.
A backyard's in the back of the house.
So a patio.
Well, then a front yard.
A patio
The front
can
yard.
be in the backyard. The yard refers more to the land itself, like the grass or what have you that's back there.
And
someone
Spanish,
drives up to your house. Hey, where do you want me to park? Park in my front yard.
right?
Sure.
You could say that.
Yeah.
You could say
Like
that.
a
You
front
could
yard.
very well say
Sure.
that. Patio
Park in the front yard.
Spanish, that's like the whole backyard, pretty much.
Patio can mean both the front one and the front one and the back one.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's the front patio.
Oh.
There will be.
Okay. Maybe I have to do a house tour at one point, so you guys could pick that up. So anyway, not a podcast about architectural design, so we're here to talk about video games.
Welcome to Patio Cast.
So Kyle, move us into what we've been playing. All right. So, man, when was the last time we made an episode, guys? Do you remember?
Like 3
When I
weeks
checked,
ago?
it was March 17th.
Yeah.
It was shortly
like
after
84
Elden Ring
years.
came out.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
I
been
think I've only talked
nearly
about Elden Ring once.
it's
Yeah,
been
same.
nearly a month, and 50 games have come out since then.
Yeah.
So I assume
Like,
we've all
one's
played
come
new
out.
games. We've all played new games. I think I spoke about Elden Ring before, so I don't need to talk about that. I
That's
have
same.
here written Resident Evil Village.
Wait,
That's not a new game.
Yeah, that's not a new game, Gino. Before we move on,
Yeah.
You said new games came out.
Resident Evil, which
Mhm.
we've already talked about plenty.
Yeah.
Elden Ring. Only 3 of us have played it. Cal hasn't played it at all.
Yeah.
Whatever
I've
reason.
not played it.
Where are we in Elden Ring?
Elden hasn't
Finished.
put a ring on my finger.
Ben finished for weeks now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Gino?
I am at the last boss. I just haven't done it.
Yeah. I'm also in the last boss, but I
you
decided
gave
to
up.
leave it at the last boss and I moved on.
And you
So
stopped playing?
Gino
Yeah.
gave up on
Yeah,
the game.
me too. I just
Wow.
stopped playing.
Wow. Okay.
I just stopped. I could beat it very well, very easily. I could
Like-
beat it. You know, as like I said,
like-
it would be the first Souls game I'll beat. And
Liked it so much, I actually finally de-aged myself by learning Reddit to actually dupe items to give it to people on Reddit who don't have them. And I've been trying to
Oh.
help Amy play Elden Ring as well.
You can
Because
give
I just
items.
can't stop playing it.
It's so
You can
good.
give
It's
items.
so good.
Yep. Yep.
What's your
Not ever. You can't give everything, but you can't give like key items and
I assume you have
crafting
your
materials.
I assume you have your PlayStation on right now, Alan. What's your hours at for Elden?
My what? My hours?
Your hours, yeah. What are your hours?
You know
looking
what?
like?
Let me. Where's my the hell? Where the fuck did I put my controller?
Okay,
I
while
can tell
he's
you
checking
how
that,
much.
Milo,
how
where's the
long I
controller
played.
at?
I can tell you how long I played. 69
Milo, you
hours.
piece of crap. Where's my
69.
controller?
That's it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty much similar to me, I guess.
Give me a minute. I'll find. You want me to
So-
check my Gino, you want me to check my in-game hours or like my PlayStation's counter of hours?
No, just go to your save file and check your in-game hours.
All right. Give me a minute.
So
I was
while
on
you're checking that,
Amy's-
I did want to bring up just Resident Evil Village. I did want to bring up that I went back to it. As we know, I quit the Dollhouse. When that happened, I was like, this game, horrible, not good. Game sucks. This game is horrible. This game is scary.
Mhm.
Not going to like
Sounds
it.
about right.
And I stopped, right? So I decided to go back to it. And I beat it this time. I got to the end. And I finished the game with infinite ammo. So,
Of
I made
course.
sure to buy that DLC pack where I got infinite ammo, and that is exactly how I beat it. And it was a great time. Games, those Resident Evil games are good. Let's just be honest, those are pretty good. So,
Gino, can you guess my hours in Elden Ring?
I'm gonna guess 302.
I'm gonna guess 149.
Okay.
362.
No, I'm at. If you add, so I'm at 252.
Oh wow.
But if you add Amy's, I'm at 277.
Wow.
Okay. So I was 50 over just your playtime. Okay.
Damn.
Wow.
252.
Wow. Okay. 250
Yeah.
hours is pretty good. Pretty good. Doesn't beat my 8,000 hours in Final Fantasy 14 online, which we'll be talking about later.
Alan, you platinumed the game, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. So yeah,
wait.
I beat Resident Evil Village.
So what's the platinum like? What do you have
Honestly,
to do?
this isn't actually a very tough platinum.
Yeah, go for every single
it's
trophy,
really just
please.
beating like all the bosses in the game, collecting just legendary items. But really, the only thing that's actually annoying is that you have to collect legendary items, and there is only one that is missable for reasons, which you obviously would know if you're there.
Rivers of Blood.
No, not a legendary weapon actually.
An item.
No, it's a weapon, but it's not rivers. But yeah, and that's it. Other than that, the trophies are actually very easy. You don't have to like I said, there's only one missable thing. Nothing has to do with online, so it's actually probably one of the easiest platinums to get.
I see. What if there was a trophy for kill 500 invaders? Would you be able to have done that already?
I don't do a lot of PvP. I have people invade me, and I really only struggle against people that just use what I'll call chicken magic.
The Sonic build.
where they just summon a person to help, and their friend's like a melee person, and then they just shoot me with magic from a distance because chicken magic.
That's the easy.
So
way.
I lose to them, but anyone else that like 1v1s me, I usually barely come out on top.
Thank you, Lit Mommy in our chat saying welcome back. Thank you. We are back.
Indeed.
We are back in full force. So enough about Elden Ring. I assume we've talked and people have heard about Elden Ring. So many for so many days already. But Ignacio, you have 3 games on here. You've played 3 games since the last time we spoke.
I played more than
3 entire games. And you and Kyle have one similar game. So let's start with Kirby here. You guys go ahead and talk about Kirby. Let me hear about mouthful mode and all that stuff.
Mouthful mode, indeed.
Whoever wants to start, come on.
Go for it, Ignacio. He was talking to you.
So Kirby, I've never been much of a Kirby guy, mostly because the opportunity has not always presented itself. So this is like my first Kirby game that I've gotten into. And the game, from the little I played from the other Kirby games, this is giving me a lot of Super Mario 3D World vibes. Even as going as far as the structure of the levels. It's very similar to the game, where you have a beginning, you have an end, 3D, go platform in a 3D environment. And so it's giving me a lot of, like I said, Super Mario 3D World vibes. And that means that those are very good vibes. The game is very entertaining. It isn't hard, it isn't very challenging, but it is a game where that's not the whole point of it. The point is having a relaxing, good time. And the game does a very good job doing that. And the game presents a good variety of environments, a good variety of enemies. And even though it isn't a challenge, it gives you something to go after.
I've heard
like,
it's harder.
Not challenging, it is difficult, but challenging as something to do, where every level has a list of do this thing, find this one thing, do whatever, so that you get what are called Waddle Dees. So if you do not know, the story of Kirby is that shit happened. The Waddle Dees that are kind of like the Kirby-like people, like a tribe, have been captured. And so your goal is to find and rescue all the Waddle Dees. And so as you go rescue Waddle Dees, depending on the amount that you have, you start rebuilding the Waddle Dee town. And as you rebuild it, you get this, for example, one shop that's for you to upgrade your weapons. There's another one that it is for you to get items, mailed items. And there's a Colosseum, I know.
What are they called, Ignacio?
Waddle Dee?
Waddle Dees, you said?
Waddle Dees nuts. Yeah.
Waddle Dees nuts, dude!
Gino, that was so like 3 seconds ago.
Stop talking about that.
Nah, you could have done that way earlier, Gino.
All right.
Yeah. So
I was listening to you intently.
most of the incentive of the game is you have these secret challenges, the kind of challenges on every level. That is, when you complete it, you get a Waddle Dee for that one. So it is destroy 3 statues, or find 5 snacks, or instead of finishing the level on the natural end, go to this other place, stuff like that. And you do not know about those or what to do right away. So for one part, it incentivizes you to may explore more in the level, do things that you think, oh, it is out of place, so I'll take it out, I do something. And then you'll figure out what the challenge for that one is. And then by the end, it incentivizes you to go back to the level, now knowing what some of the challenges could be. And so that's mostly what the game is. It is a very relaxing game. It is fairly entertaining, and it gives you that replayability challenge to go back to the levels, and I'm enjoying it quite a bit.
So Lemami in the chat says she had a feeling it's like a 3D world. She didn't really get it because she felt like she would have played it already. Kyle, is it like a 3D world or more like Odyssey?
Definitely not like
Odyssey?
Right, yeah. It's not like that. It's not an open world game. There is a map where you kind of fly around and pick which level you want to go to. And then you go and you do that course.
That's the part where it looks like 3D world, where you are picking the levels and stuff like that, I assume, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so it's a lot like that. The challenges in each level aren't difficult. I tend to get most of them in a single play through, which then on one hand also kind of sucks, because then there's like the one that I miss, and it's just like, fuck, I missed like that one thing, and it was just like, damn it, now I have to go back and do that. But yeah, the game is not difficult. I'm playing on wild mode. And it is it's really easy. I'm not super far in the game though. I've beat that first kind of like place that it starts you in, and then Ignacio, you also mentioned the place in the Waddle Dee town that you can upgrade your abilities. You know that Kirby can suck up the bad guys and steal their powers. You can also upgrade those abilities, so when you get them, like, you get a stronger version of that thing there. Or I think you can like start out with that from the store. You pick the one you want, and then you go into the level to do all of that stuff.
It serves 2 purposes. One, you go back to Waddle Dee town, you go to the store, and you can all the powers are displayed there. So if you want one, you can get it right there. But yeah, also on some levels you'll find blueprints that when you take them back to the store, you'll get the chance to upgrade one of the abilities that corresponding to the blueprint. And it isn't just that they are stronger versions of the attack. They are sometimes fairly different, where they start doing newer things with the attacks.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you can attack farther, or it's a continuous thing, or it spreads out instead. But you have to have those blueprints and these certain gems that you can find every so often, and there's kind of like little challenge stages that are like off the beaten path that you can go explore, and it's just fun. Like, it'll take you 2 minutes, and it's like hit the target challenge, or like use the fire thing to go bowling, and you have to hit a certain number of things within 1 minute, right? It's really simple. I'm not super far in, but my plan was to just like every so often do a stage, and that's it. It's super chill.
Nice.
Gino, there's this one ability where it starts off as you having your typical sword. It is, I don't know if you've seen Kirby ever.
Yeah,
he has one ability that is sword, very like Zelda like thing, Link like. His upgraded ability is that sword becomes a big sword that he can carry.
Like
I know you're a fan of Pixels. So
Oh, okay.
I wanted you to know that.
I figured that's what you're telling me, but I thought there was more to it after that. But okay,
No, I mean, the more you upgraded, the sword
A
starts
bigger sword.
doing more
even
things.
bigger sword. Okay,
But yeah, they upgraded a big sword.
all right,
great
that's
sword.
good to hear. That's
And
good
I
to
know
hear.
you like
You've
the sword,
convinced
so-
me. You've convinced me. Maybe I should get it.
Yeah.
So I do see here that Ignacio and Alan are both playing Ghostwire Tokyo as well. Alan, tell us about that one.
I don't actually know how far I am in Ghostwire Tokyo. I struggled to shake off the Elden Ring bug, so I played through Ghostwire super slow.
Mhm.
I want to say I'm maybe halfway through it. I enjoyed the game. I think the combat and the aesthetic and just the Japanese lore of the game is really good. But I feel some of the controls aren't like, I feel like the camera control is not very good. And the side quests and side content and even the story are all terribly forgettable.
Yeah,
Like
it looks
I-
like a forgettable game, to be honest.
I
with you.
have literally like not skipped the story cutscenes and I have no idea what's going on and I don't care what's happening because it's just it's the other problem too is that like the character and the ghost with you will kind of like talk and will discuss things. And I get that it's in Japanese, so it has subtitles, but that doesn't translate when I have to run around and I'm doing combat. Like I can't combat and read shit at the same time.
Mhm.
Alan, are you playing
I've
it in
heard that before.
Japanese?
Yeah. Why wouldn't you? That's the default language. You play it in the language it's default to.
Okay. It surprised me considering there's an English option.
No, but yeah, like even with that though, like
Yeah.
the story probably gets better, but I just have it's not captivating. But there's no excusing the side quests and side content. It's literally the side content is literally the definition of just fluff. It
Mhm.
is not memorable, it's not captivating, and it's very forgettable.
Yeah.
There was a
So-
game that I played last year that had a similar thing. It wasn't voice acted, but it had text that was like advancing the story that would pop up on word balloons on different spots in the screen while it was asking you to like do some like focus on this one certain thing. And so it's just like,
Mhm.
well,
Yeah.
do you want me to read this thing or do that thing? Like, what? And it's like
You're a
you just
gamer,
had
man.
to
Figure it out.
pick.
You're
Yeah,
a
You
gamer.
just had to
Figure
pick, and it was like you
Like-
can figure out the story or not.
Like I'm literally playing it this morning and I get to a story part where I have to defend a character and like literally I get ambushed. So like the main character, they're kind of conversing and talking, but they're talking, but I'm also getting ambushed by enemies and I have to protect the character. And it's like, I don't know what you're talking about, but like I can't read.
I'm
I
busy.
can't
I'm
do
busy
this
right
at
now.
the
Alan,
moment.
think of it as training. Now you're gonna get more accustomed to watching things
You do-
in
You
Japanese.
realize that I watch that I like Ignacio, even I watch movies in English with subtitles.
Why?
I do the same.
Because sometimes
What?
sometimes you
mixing is
watch
terrible.
it and even in English the mixing is bad. Sometimes there's loud parts,
they
there's
mumble,
loud parts you
yeah.
gotta turn the TV down. Sometimes there's quiet parts you can't hear fucking shit.
Yeah, exactly.
So subtitles. We'll rewatch movies with subtitles and they'll say things I'm like, wait, they said that? I didn't know they said that. Thank you, subtitles.
So I actually finished Ghostwire Tokyo. It's surprisingly not long. You can finish it in 4 hours if you
Wow,
just
so
mainline it.
I'm really dragging my feet.
Yeah, well, that's if you mainline it.
Well,
I only did one side quest and one 3-part side quest. That's most of the side quests that I did because I had heard that the side quests in the game aren't good, so I decided to not do it.
listen, Ignacio. Did every side quest and there are 249 fucking thousand spirits you have to release.
Yep. Yeah,
And
you
I've
see-
done so much and I have like 68,000. Like, where the fuck are the rest?
Yeah, but you see, Alan, I'm happy with not even reaching the 1,000 spirits caught.
yeah,
I'm
but
happy.
he's a
I
trophy
can
hunter,
live
dude.
there.
He's a trophy hunter.
Yeah,
man.
I'm
No,
sure
it's not
that
even for
Alan.
the trophy. This is why I don't like open world games because I'm just drawn to just doing things. And I did this
Yeah.
in Elden Ring. Like there's so many things in Elden Ring that aren't even attached to trophies, and I did them anyways. And Ghostwire is just so much worse at it.
Yeah, so like I said, I finished it, so I know all of the story. And one of my biggest, let's call it disappointments, is that I think that there is a very good story here that the game isn't telling it the right way. Where I can see hints that if this was an anime with a better writing team or a more focused writing team, the story would be very good. But the problem is that that's not what's happening here. The story, they will not tell you a lot that's going on in the behind the scenes, where you know that the spirit that you're with, he has a backstory. Shit happened with him and his family.
And the game the game starts, it just throws you into it.
Yeah, it throws you, and it won't explain it very well.
No.
It barely explains it. And the same with the main protagonist, the same with the villain, which I think that they could have done something very good with the villain. Where his story, Kyle, it reminds me a lot of Evangelion. By the end,
it always comes back to
Shinji's dad. His motivations, those are very similar to the motivations in the end of the bad guy here. And so they hint at it, not even hint, they mention it. They mention his reasoning, but they won't explore it. And that's one of my biggest problems with the game, is that it could have been a great story if they had developed it very better. And my other problem with the game is that it feels a lot. Most of the game is you're in one place. Okay, go to the next one. You go to the next one. Okay, now I know where to go next. Go to the next one. Okay, now I know where to go next. Go to the next one. Now I know where to go next. And then add in throwing enemy encounters in between there. But it's all the game is go here to go there to go there to go there to go there to go there. That's
but
most
you
realize,
of the game. But you realize that's an open world game problem. Like, because Ghostwire is kind of that open world game, you're not really meant to just run from A, B, C to D. You're meant to kind of take a break and get spirits, do some side content, and do this and kind of explore and find things. The problem is, besides the combat, the finding things and everything else are just monotonous. Like, because it's that open world formula, you can, but it's not really meant to just bullet through the game. You're meant to kind of take breaks and relax and do other side content. But that's where I feel like the game's bad, is that side content just, it's not worth taking a break from, which then makes the single rushing through the plot much worse.
Yeah, but I think that even if that's what an open world game is, there are good ways of doing a mission structure, the main mission structure, where if you go to one place, let's do something interesting in that one place, have a mission, whatever, and then the next one, have another interesting mission. Whereas this game feels a lot like you go to this one other place only to learn where to go next. Yeah. And then you only learn where to go next, and then and there aren't enough interesting those points in between. You go to this one place and then to another place. Those points, very few of them have interesting things to do in them. Most of them feel like you go there to the launch where to go next.
Yeah. I'm just saying the side quest content is, like, I'm not saying it does that well. It still fails there fundamentally, but it's also the bad side content that just makes mainlining much worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
we could chalk it up to the game's pretty much all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the game is all right. Like I said, you can beat it in 4 hours. And if you are interested in Japanese culture, or if you like anime or stuff like that, you will find entertainment here. I really like the depiction of the spirit world that Ghostwire Tokyo shows here. I like the designs of the different spirits.
That's what we need. Ghostwire Tsushima.
Yeah.
Cool power. Like, without going into it because for time restraints, but like cool powers too. Powers are really interesting and fun.
The powers are cool. My big problem with the powers is that you run out of ammo so quickly, where I feel like a lot of times I was running out, and the only alternative that you have is using your melee attack, which is just doing this, and it never felt like it was connecting. It felt like very much it's the same animation always, whether you're breaking down something with melee or whatever. It never felt like it was effective.
If you run out of ammo with one spirit, it's a little thing called strategy.
Yeah, be switching around, dude. Yeah, be switching around.
Speaking of strategy.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh, perfect. Perfect segue. Kyle, did you beat Triangle Strategy yet?
I actually have almost nothing to update us with on Triangle
You have not beaten
Strategy.
it. Okay.
I'm still playing it. I'm still progressing. The gameplay, when I get to gameplay, I love it. I think it's fantastic.
That's funny.
But man, I sat there for like 2 hours doing a play session, and it was all cutscenes. It was all dialogue. And it's annoying. Like, one of the annoying things that I find about this game too is that sometimes there are, so they don't call these like missions. They're stories that you can do. So you can go see a side story over there, or a main story over here, or there's a battle right there, right? So you have all of these stories, and sometimes there are multiple stories in the same location, and every time it kicks you back out to the world map to like pick you, like, which one do you want to do next? And it's just like, do all of the stuff in this location, so I don't have to keep hitting the button to go back in, hit the button to just speed through all the text to take me back out to then go back in the same spot. And it's just like,
Yeah.
I want this game to be so good, and it is. Like, there is good stuff in this. There's just nitpicky things that is just like, why is there so much dialogue? Why is this so long? Like, why? Like,
Kyle, it's called it's an interactive movie. You don't enjoy movies?
It basically is.
Yeah.
It's basically a visual novel with like battles as a reward every 3 hours. But man, the
keeps you
combat is
engaged.
so good though. Yeah, right? Yeah. It's just like, I want to get to the battles, please.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's all.
Okay. Nice.
Alan, my fear is that that's what Digimon Survive will end up being.
It probably will. It probably will be, Ignacio. Let's not pretend.
I don't know if you watched the interview.
I saw,
where the director said it was more like 70-30, where 30 is gameplay and 70 is story.
Whoa.
Ignacio, before we even got that, I already knew Survive was going to be hot garbage, but I'm going to love it anyways.
Yeah.
And all its hot, garbagey smelliness.
So,
me too.
Ignacio, we all know Lego. We all know Star Wars.
But you do not know Lego Star Wars. It's
Tell
Skywars.
us about Lego Star Wars.
But it's just like the other ones. It's just the whole saga. Like, the Lego games are like all kind of fundamentally the same.
Exactly.
Well,
so just tell us what you think about it.
That's where
That's where you go wrong.
Yeah.
That's
I know, because it's like a Devil May Cry game now.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, fundamentally it is a Lego game, but they revamped the gameplay a lot, where it feels more like an action, like a third-person action game more than your typical Lego game. And so that's one of the positives. The game looks gorgeous.
Typically, they're more like side scrollers, right?
Yeah, they are more like you are in this one area, a level area, and you go through the level and go point A to point B, going through an environment, fighting enemies.
Kind of like it almost reminds me of like a simplified Kirby. It kind of reminds me of like a simplified Diablo style, kind of, where it's like not open levels, but kind of like areas you explore and you just go through, but way simpler than Diablo.
So yeah, they revamped the gameplay where it is you can actually do combos, in quotes, where the combos don't do that much. You can still mash the square button and you'll beat everyone. So those are the new. I would say that those are the positives of the game. That the game technically it is better. Technically, as in the technical aspects of the game are better now, and it looks better. My problem is that I do not like the way that they are structuring the story or the gameplay of the story. So one of the things that they introduced with the game is that there are now a lot of open areas, or like open world areas, where you go to Hoth or you go to Tatooine, Mos Espa, you go to Coruscant. All these places are open. They're like open areas. And so what the story will do is that you will go through these open areas. So let's say episode 3, where you will start okay, first level is on a starship, but then after that you're dropped into Coruscant, and your next mission is another point of Coruscant, so you have to go walk there. You get another story cutscene. You go to another point, go through Coruscant, and maybe go to another planet and whatever. And so my problem with the game is that I very much prefer how the old games did it, where it was more level based. So
Not
in
what
the
I
old
was
games,
expecting.
in the old games, everything you do was inside a level. So every level was crafted in a certain way that you go through it, but you will encounter enemies along the way or things to do, puzzles, whatever. But I feel like most of the game now is go from point A to point B, and then if you go to point B, maybe you'll go to point C, or maybe you'll get a mission. So missions now are instead of levels, you do a specific thing. So it could be pod racing in episode 1, or it could be you are Obi-Wan and you're fighting Jango Fett in his ship. So it's stuff like that. Or in episode 1 also, the first mission in the game in episode 1 is you are in this, let's call it a submarine or a aquatic ship, whatever, and you have to escape like a kraken. And so missions are very much that. You do one thing. And there are still some missions that are more like the typical Lego game where you would go through a level, but those seem to be more rare than you would hope for. And so yeah, my biggest problem with the game is that it feels like a lot of it is, much like Ghostwire Tokyo, is go from point A to point B to point C.
Gotcha.
Okay. I see. I'm hearing a lot of good about it. So
Yeah.
I hope I can
also,
play it eventually.
I feel like I've only played the prequel trilogy, and for me, episode 1 and episode 2 were worse in a way. Like episode 1 didn't have any of the quote unquote traditional levels. Episode 2 had one. And so my hope is that the original trilogy will have more of the typical Lego levels.
Now this is pod racing.
The pod racing level was good, to be honest.
No, I was making
There's
a
always
joke.
a bigger
There's a
pod
joke,
race, right? No.
Nah, that level wasn't very good.
I like The Mandalorian. Anyway,
There is Mandalorian DLC.
Awesome. There you go. You convinced me. Is there swords? Oof, that's tough.
Not big ones.
Do you consider
Unless you consider a lightsaber a sword.
No,
A light swarber. Swordber.
I have not. Anyway, so that is all we've been playing for the last 3 weeks, pretty much, since the last time we spoke. So thank you guys for that.
I mean, I've played more things if you want me to keep going.
Me too. I've played Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. I've played this other game called Closing Shift. I played Final Fantasy.
Fortnite has a no build
played
mode.
Fortnite. Yeah, I played all that.
Thank
I love
God.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, we don't gotta talk about it though. Let's get into a little bit of housekeeping.
We put a lot of hard work into the shows that we make, and yes, we make multiple different shows here at the Whatnauts, and we'd love it if you check them all out. You can find out more information on our website at thewhatnauts.com, as well as your favorite podcasting platform of choice. When you type in the Whatnauts, all of our shows will pop up right there. Just don't forget to give us a nice rating and review if you like the shows. If you want to support what we do here at The Whatnauts, patreon.com/thewhatnauts is the best place to do that. You can support us for as little as $1 a month. You can get all kinds of exclusive content at the $3 tier. You can also get a shout out and a thank you on all of our shows at the $5 tier. You can support us on Twitch by subscribing to our channel at twitch.tv/thewhatnauts, and we would love to have you all join us for our live streams and talk with us in the chat. And lastly, we have merch. If you'd like to grab yourself a shirt or a sweatshirt or a mug or something else, go to thewhatnauts.com/store to pick up some merch today.
And we are back. I don't know about shouting out any shows. I don't know if we've done anything new, Kyle.
So there is one that came out. I still have not really done much social media stuff since all the hecticness of moving and unpacking and stuff like that. Melissa and I did our end of the month special, which we then released late, all of that stuff. It was a sitcom special. So I had her watch Community, and she had me watch some of Arrested Development, and we got to talk about those. That was a lot of fun. However, keep your eyes peeled now that our computers are up and running and all of that stuff. We are about to do our 200th one of the review show. So that is exciting. We are reviewing a show called Review. This was a Comedy Central show where this guy would review life experiences like being Batman for a day, or getting a divorce, or what is it like to be in a fight, or what is it like to join the Mile High Club, or stuff like that. And he would have to go do these things. And what was really interesting about that is there's continuity in all of them. So he had to review getting a divorce, and then down the road he has to review being Batman, but that's on the day that he has to go to court to do all of this, so he shows up in court as Batman and stuff like that. It's ridiculous. And then I hear, I know you guys are recording it on Sunday. I don't know when it will come out, but Ignacio, I hear through the grapevine, you're going to be joining Melissa on her other podcast. This coming up soon here, Saturday Morning Obscurities. What are you guys talking about on that one?
We are talking about Digimon. More specifically, we are talking about 2 episodes from Demon Tamers. So I was approached to be on the podcast a couple of weeks ago, and so Jams approached me.
Cool,
because he knows that I'm a Digimon fan. So he told me, "Hey, we're gonna do Digimon. If you could pick 2 episodes, what would you pick?" And I thought that if I only had 2 episodes, this would be the 2 episodes to show.
There you go. Good stuff.
What the show is about.
Yeah, I'm not sure when that one will be releasing, but keep an eye out for that, because I'm sure Ignacio will be talking about that once it's out.
Yeah,
and all that stuff.
All right.
That's it. That's it for now.
Awesome. So let's get into the news of the week. Get ready, everybody. We are talking about Abandoned again. So if you don't know what Abandoned is, if you didn't know what it was before, Abandoned is a game that was rumored to be the next Silent Hill game from Blue Box Studios with creative director Hassan Karaman. And there was little or no information around this game aside from a PlayStation blog that PlayStation released on their own, talking about this game and all that stuff, and then they sort of just disappeared. They just basically they released what was it? It was like some sort of app on the PlayStation 5 to release their trailer. And the trailer they ended up releasing was just a little bit of some steps on a wooden floor.
It was the thing that they released on Twitter the day before.
Yeah, the same thing they released on Twitter. And then they delayed their app with other stuff, and then they kept delaying it until they stopped talking. So everyone was like, you know what? Fuck these guys. Let's forget about them. They're not doing anything, whatever. But recently, IGN reached out to the studio, Blue Box Studio. I believe it was Destin Legari that did an interview with Hassan Karaman. Legari. Destin Legari did an interview with Hassan Karaman, which is the owner, the creative director of Blue Box Studios. And Joe Scrubbles wrote up a little bit here on what that interview was. But basically, the reason he did this interview was because there has been rumors now that the game was canceled, because he deleted some tweets previously from information on the game and all this stuff, and he explained that I don't have it right up here, but in the article it says something that he explained that he deleted those tweets because that information isn't current and he just wanted to get rid of it. And he wanted, as he releases new information, that information that he deleted is old already, so that doesn't need to be out there. So that was his way of thinking, but obviously, that struck up rumors that the game was canceled. So a part of this interview here, I'll read here from the article. Kerman's studio Blue Box was forced to put out a statement saying that the game was still in development and apologized for the lengthy silence around new information. The team said it had underestimated our development roadmap, in quotations, and delayed the reveal and release of the promised prologue. However, Kerman says that the prologue is still planned for this year and explained a little more about it for IGN. He made clear that it will be a paid standalone game, not just a demo. It will come with a full set of PlayStation trophies, including a Platinum trophy, and it's being made to help fund the main game. So later on in the article, he says something about it being, it's going to be like 1 to 2 hours. So, it's going to be, it's going to be sold as a standalone thing with trophies and all that stuff. The price will be equal to the amount of hours you play. So I figure it's going to be like $10 to $20 for something like that. Ignacio, do you think we're going to see this year?
I don't know if this year. I mean, see, as in see it, not play it. I mean, probably we could see it. But I don't know, man. This game is something to really think
it's
about.
It's interesting, right?
Yeah,
it
is a very interesting game. Everything that has happened with it,
I don't know
the conspiracies behind it.
Interesting game. I don't know what the gameplay is.
It's an interesting story around it. Yeah.
It's an interesting, like all the stuff surrounding it has just been hectic and crazy. But
yeah. Alan, would you still err on the side that is this still Hideo Kojima? How do you feel about that?
Again, I'm with Kyle. Like we had literally, I feel like the only attention around this game is just the news. They're without seeing any gameplay. Like what even is this? Like
there's nothing to get excited about. Except conspiracies.
Yeah, there's literally nothing of substance. Like there's no story detail, there's no gameplay, there's not even a really cool CG trailer to latch onto. Yeah. Like what? Yeah. Like, oh, what's the excitement of Abandon? It's still a thing. Like
it's an announcement.
Well, if you want to keep fueling the Kojima conspiracy, they sound to me like Ground Zeroes. Like what Ground Zeroes goes to Final Pain.
I still just don't believe he's attached to it.
Yeah,
I feel like that's just a buzz to get people on board.
Yeah. And to be fair, they haven't done a good job distancing themselves from the rumor. Where at one point they released an image with a character blurred out in the background, and that character very much looked like, I don't know if it was Big Boss or like a Metal Gear character, but they for sure are fueling it a little bit.
But again, why would you try to distance yourself from the rumor if it's just bringing you press and publicity? Yeah. Like, why would you try to separate yourself from it?
Exactly. I figured that, but I feel like in a way it sort of got way too far from them. Like it got so out of hand that they couldn't, help it anymore. Yeah. So them saying that if they truly confirmed it wasn't Hideo Kojima anymore, that just would have been it for them. I feel like that was sort of what was going through their head. But yeah, this it's so interesting. Like I have morbid curiosity for this game.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, I don't think this is gonna ever be a game. I think he's at the very most, I think that prologue with an hour, 2 hours is gonna be released. People are gonna buy that shit. And they're just gonna run with the money. I feel like that's probably what's gonna end up happening. I don't feel like,
or Gino, people won't buy the demo because there's just no real hype around it. So no one will buy the prologue. So then when the real game doesn't come out, people are gonna go, well, you didn't buy the prologue.
I think they will just because of the Kojima thing.
how attached to PlayStation is this game?
Yeah, that I was gonna say that.
That's
Yeah,
what
I was gonna say
wondering, because our next news story, which we'll get into at a bit here, has to do with potential demos. So I feel like if it doesn't happen this year, like this would be a good thing for PlayStation to do a demo of early next year, right?
Yeah.
But I truly feel like at this point, PlayStation doesn't want anything to do with that.
I don't know if I would say that. I don't know if I would.
I don't know if they're, because they never said anything after. After that blog, I don't think PlayStation ever said anything.
There is
after
much
that.
to say.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, there's no info on the game yet.
Yeah.
And once there is, I'm sure they will say something.
What do you want? PlayStation to go, hey, look, they confirmed the game's still planned. They just underestimated their roadmap. Like, okay.
Yeah. Also, you have to take into account that PlayStation got involved with the game with most of the people not knowing anything about it, not having anything solid about it. So there has to be something in there that PlayStation saw that convinced them to get attached to it.
Maybe, yeah. I guess we'll see. But yeah, it's always all rumors. It's like, even though we hear it directly from their mouth, it's still a rumor. It still ends up being a rumor. So not much to talk about abandoned there. So I guess we'll see what happens when there's more about it. So let's move on to number 2 here. PlayStation has finally announced its Game Pass competitor. So I don't have a whole story on it. I just have the tiers here that they announced. So basically, PlayStation.
Well, pretty much the main story, Gino, is that, remember, we had the leak of this prior.
Yeah.
And then now we have the confirmation of it.
So they announced different tiers where they basically merged PlayStation Now and PlayStation Plus with a few additional things. So let me just read off these.
All into
here.
A new PlayStation Plus.
Yeah. So let me read off these tiers here, and then we'll talk about it here. So the first and the cheapest tier is PlayStation Plus Essential. This is the same PlayStation Plus service that currently exists with no changes to the current pricing. It includes the 2 monthly downloadable games, the discounts, saved game cloud storage, and access to online multiplayer for most games. So basically, just PlayStation Plus, what it is as we know it. And then the second tier after that is the extra tier, PlayStation Plus Extra, which includes all the same benefits, and it adds a catalog of around 400 PS4 and PS5 games that can be downloaded while you're a member. It includes first-party and third-party games, but no new exclusives will launch into the service, similar to how Xbox has day one releases coming to Xbox Game Pass.
The opposite
that will not be that for PlayStation. And this one costs $14.99 US dollars monthly. And then after that one, we have PlayStation Plus Premium, which of course includes all the previous benefits. And this one adds 340 extra games to the catalog, including PS1, PS2, and PSP games for streaming and download. PS3 games will also be available, but only to stream. And streaming can be carried out on the PS4, PS5, and PC. And also, premium members receive time-limited trials of some games, which is what Kyle mentioned a second ago. Yep. And this one will cost $3 more than the PlayStation Plus Extra, $17.99 monthly. So, what are we thinking, Kyle? What do you think of these tiers? Are you gonna go for the highest one?
To be honest, no. I'm not sold yet. I think at least for the time being, I'm still just going to be on the PlayStation Essential, the PlayStation Plus, the bottom rung here.
Regular.
Yeah, I there's so many new games that I want to play and do all that stuff. I don't have time to really dip into the back catalog of these 400 to 500 gig games that they have available. That's neat, I think that's a really useful feature, but just for me personally, I don't have the time to dip into all that. So then to add retro games on top of that, of like, you can also get PlayStation 1 games and all this stuff. It's just like, well, thanks, but no thanks. So but again, like, if they had exclusives on that premium tier,
I think
I'd
it's
be like, yes,
I think it's
sign me up.
I think they're pretty good. I think for them to go with I don't know if they will ever do exclusives on launch day or whatever. I think they'll add those eventually at some point, obviously when they're a lot older. But I think another thing that they will probably do is add third party exclusives or something like that. Or just third party games that come out day one.
That brings
like they did
up
with
an
Shadow
interesting
Warrior.
question.
Yeah.
If they do that, is there going to be any kind of crossover between the third party games that are on Game Pass? And then if you are a person that has both consoles, is it really worth paying for both of those systems? Like,
that is a good question. Yeah.
Interesting. And I think if a third party game can get on both of those, that's a lot of money. But does that mean then Xbox and PlayStation end up wanting to pay less, knowing that it will be on both of the stuff? I don't know.
I think that's where they sign those exclusivity deals, similar to how they sign exclusivity. You know, it would be, okay, we'll pay for you to be exclusive onto our stream, onto our catalog. I feel like that kind of crossover wouldn't happen, except for games that are already on each other's catalogs. Like, for example, if they already have Tomb Raider, if they already have like Tomb Raider or something on Game Pass.
Yeah. I could see in a similar way that it's EA has their thing on Game Pass now.
Yeah,
like,
they have EA Play
Squaresoft working out a thing.
The heck is Squaresoft?
Whatever.
Squaresoft. They haven't been Squaresoft in like 20 years.
You're old, Kyle. What's going on here?
You know what? I can see Square.
You said that so confidently too. Squaresoft.
Squaresoft. That's who they are to me. Final Fantasy X, man. But like, I could see the Square Enix making a deal with PlayStation to be like, hey, all like we'll have a number of third party exclusives be on that service, and they won't be on Xbox. We'll see.
That would depend on how committed to it Sony is, because all those deals that they have of making them come to the service, exclusive or not, that means that it is more expensive for them. They have to pay for that, and even more if they are going to straight up make it exclusive to the service. So that would depend on how committed Sony is to actually pay people to do that. Microsoft can do it. Xbox can do it because it's Microsoft, and they can afford to just keep spending money because Microsoft has a lot of money to spend. So I don't know how much or how on what level Sony can compete with that, and how committed to competing in that level they are. And speaking of the new tiers that we got, to me, it is more of a step backwards than a step forward. Because tier 1 is PlayStation Plus as we know it. That's still there. But the thing with tier 2 and 3 is that those two are basically PS Now, but got it into half of PS Now, which is you have a catalog of games you can download from PS4. That's now PS Plus Extra. And if you want the streaming part of PS Now, that's on PS Plus Premium. And so there, other than the PS1, PS2, and PSP games, other than that, there isn't much new here. It says 400 PS4 games. That is around what PS Now is at now, with how many games they have on the service. So it will probably still be that same catalog. Yeah. And so you get into the problem where now PS Now used to be a separate thing where you could pay for it separately. Now, if you want access to PS Now, you have to pay more for it. And you cannot just pay for PS Now. You have to pay for the tiers that get you to the PS Now thing that you wanted.
It's locking you into paying more to force you to use Now.
Yeah.
I'm interested to hear your perspective, Alan, because you don't have Game Pass. So
no,
is this something that you think is interesting at all?
No, when I saw this announced, I was also like seeing everyone's reactions on Twitter and talking to some people, and really the general idea is it's a wait and see. In my personal opinion, I think the PlayStation Plus extra tier shouldn't even exist. Like if it was just essentials and then premium, like if and I understand everything else in the price, but like I feel like they should just slash extra and put premium as that just the above tier. That way, like, yeah, you're still paying more, that you're being, as Ignacio said, being locked into PS Now and everything else. Because all extra does is gives you a catalog of 400 PS4 and PS5 games, which I understand that's nice. And I understand a lot of people will probably just jump on PlayStation 5, but you can just get PS4 games really, really cheap. Or if anything, just the upgraded PS5 version of games. Like, I feel like extra doesn't really, like, if you're this deep in the PlayStation ecosystem, extra doesn't mean anything to you. It's just an empty tier.
Yeah.
Now, I love retro games. I love playing my old classic games. PlayStation Plus Premium, to me, is too expensive to go back and play PS1, PS2, and PSP games. Even though there are a lot of games in those generations that I love, that is a steep price when if you have an old console or anything else, like, at least for me, a lot of really popular games, they just remake. Like, oh, if you're like, man, I'd love to play Crash and Spyro, you don't need those retro games. You have a newer version, which isn't the same, but I feel like the biggest part Premium fails on completely is PS3 games are available, but only to streaming. I feel like that's the worst part because a lot of people missed out on the PS3 generation because of how much it cost and people just kind of skipped on it for most of it. There's a lot of great games in that generation that need to be included. I get that the infrastructure of the PS3 was more complicated to kind of work with for developers and everything else, but PS3 games should be just definitively included in there. Not as, oh, only to stream. I'm not saying them being to download would make it better or justify it. It's still too expensive and overpriced for me personally. But that's the biggest L that I saw, is that PS3 gen being stream only and not really just being in there. I saw this. I didn't like any. I saw this and I was not on board. Like, I'm sticking with essentials and that's it.
They've kind of abandoned that like cell processor thing so much that I feel like in the time it's been, if they had not stuck with it, but at least had some kind of team working on it, maybe they could have made the tech. I have no idea. I'm talking out of my ass here. I could have
sworn that they had
made the technology smaller and stuff like that, so that there could be a cell processor, just a real small one in the PlayStation 5. I don't know if that's plausible but it just, I don't know. I
got two more. I got two more if you're okay with that.
Go for
Yeah.
it.
As a personal note, I just miss demos. I don't like the premium members will receive limited time trials. Like, what happened to the good old days of just demos?
Yeah, that's true.
And I was just thinking of that, of adding the PS4 catalog games to the extra one. Like, but that was one of the big things of PS5 of, we have the PlayStation Plus collection where you can just get these free PS4 games. I feel like now they're going to charge you more and they're just going to be like, hey, that Plus collection, hey, we're just going to, look at that. It's gone. What happened to it? But hey, here's this expensive extra PlayStation Plus you can pay for.
It is wild that 2 years in, they haven't added anything to the PS Plus connection.
Yeah, well, and they're removing Persona 5 from it.
Oh, I didn't know.
Or they either removed it or they're removing it from it. Like Persona 5, they're removing it from the Plus collection.
Yeah, wild that they haven't touched it. Except for taking it.
But like Sony did nothing with it after launch, and now they're finally doing something with it, but now they're taking a game from it.
Yeah.
That also upsets me with extra. So again, extra should just be X.
So I'm interested to see what it's gonna look like. Obviously, when it comes out, when they start rolling this out. Yeah, the whole streaming thing. I remember I tried PlayStation Now at one point, and I streamed an old PS3 game, and I was like, "This is absolutely horrible. I would never do this again."
I tried it out, and I thought that it ran very well. I tried 2 Metal Gear games, and they ran well.
But it depends on your internet as well.
Yeah,
obviously,
so that plays a factor.
If my internet cuts out, my game's gonna cut out. So that's like, it's just an annoying thing to think about. So I'd rather always have my games downloaded. And just streaming feels like feels third world to me or something. I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's
like streaming the games would be fine if you had that option to just download the game to just have it to play it off of streaming. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't
understand. Like I get it that the cell processor is a very complicated thing, but I could have sworn that they had patented ways to have PS3 games work on PS5. I could have sworn that was a thing. So seeing that it's still 2 generations removed, it is still being streamed. Even though my PC can play PS3 games. Sure, it cannot play every game perfectly.
What am I hearing? Is that you, Ignacio?
Sorry.
Mike.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry. I know.
You gotta stop him if he's doing it.
I know, but have it. But yeah, it is a bummer. But one thing that I want to shout out is that they also confirmed that they will be bringing PS Now to more territories, which I believe that they haven't done in a while. So fingers crossed that it will come here to Chile. Fingers crossed. I doubt it, but fingers crossed.
You say, "Oh wow," because you think you're in a third world country, Ignacio?
Wow.
Yeah, I'm in a third world country. Yeah. A lot of the world is third world.
Oh, yeah. Gosh, that's a weird thing for. I don't know. I didn't mean third world. Obviously, third world, not like in a way where it's like, you know what I mean? I don't know what I mean.
Like you're not trying to say it's underdeveloped. That's what you're.
No,
you're not,
I'm just
you
saying
don't mean
it
that.
feels that. I don't know. That's what it is to me. I figure we're all first world.
Sorry, Gino, that we cannot all live in the United States, where the whole tech industry, video games industry revolves around. Okay, sorry.
I don't even know what third world is, to be honest with you. No, I really don't know what it is.
It's it's a made up metric.
I just third world. No, it's just what I'm saying. We live in the United States. You hear third world
privileged.
Gino,
why am I digging a grave right now for myself?
To be honest, first, second, and third world is a bullshit metric that goes back to World War II.
It is, yeah.
Okay, I don't know. Oh well. Anyway, so any other closing thoughts on this whole thing? Anybody?
Just wait and see.
Yeah. Okay.
Hyped for games in the chat says, I think if you already had both Plus and Now, it's a small upgrade. Oops, let's see here. Small upgrade. You had to get PS5 downloads and classics for about the same price, but not many people have both. It's a hard sell if you only have Plus, and not knowing the catalog doesn't help. PS3 streaming only, a bummer.
So Ignacio,
I thought it was going somewhere else where you can buy PS Now right now for like $60 a year, and that will transfer into the highest tier, into PS Plus Premium.
People were exploiting that. I think I heard that they stopped that.
Oh, really?
I think so. But yeah, they were like, buy just like 5 or 6 years of this stuff, and you get it for like half of the price. Damn. Yeah.
We just can't win as consumers.
Yeah. Well,
we can't win.
In the end, we'll still have to wait and see what the official catalog is for that. And
hopefully
also
they have something up their sleeve.
Yeah, for the PS Plus extra thing, if it's still like PS Now, then the extra isn't worth much. But if they come into making the service a past competitor where they get exclusive games for day one, then I think the extra one tier could be interesting, just as a competitor to the Game Pass.
Yeah,
I guess we'll see. All right, so let's move on to number 3 here. Epic and Lego are diving into the metaverse. This is an article from GameSpot here. Eddie McCutch wrote up here, Epic Games and the Lego Group have announced a new long-term deal to help shape the future of the metaverse and specifically make it safe and fun for children and families. Details are thin at the moment, but Epic and the Lego Group said they will work together to build an immersive, creatively inspiring, and engaging digital experience for kids of all ages to enjoy together. The description goes on, in quotations, the family-friendly digital experience will give kids access to tools that will empower them to become confident creators and deliver amazing play opportunities in a safe and positive space. So I'm getting an Oculus soon.
Hey!
And
Nice.
I'm going to dive right into the metaverse, buy a property next to Snoop Dogg, sell it, resell it for millions of dollars, and then
Gino,
go
I
into
think-
Lego
I think
World.
People
And-
already beat you to that one.
Yeah. So, and then go into Lego World and scam all these kids, dude. What are you guys gonna do in this?
He's like, hey, have you guys heard of Connects? Playmobiles? Right?
So Ignacio, do you have an Oculus?
Yeah, I have a quest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you been in the metaverse at all?
Gino,
we're in the metaverse
the
right now.
the metaverse isn't one thing. It is more of a general concept more than one thing.
Isn't there
Metaverse?
a Facebook
I've met
meta?
like 5 verses.
There
I
is
hear
a,
I hear the metaverse has a lot of rotten adults who need changes of heart.
yeah, there is
Did
a
somebody say something
Facebook
about the
metaverse.
darkness? Uh-huh.
No, it's the wrong series.
There is a Facebook metaverse thing where I think it might be only accessible on the US. It used to be like invite only. I tried the other day to get it on it, but I think it might be geo-locked. But the problem with the metaverse is that the only way that it could work, this thing where, like Gino, you said, people buying property there, like
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg, or I don't know, the crazy ideas that people have, is that at one point someone has to come out to and make one big metaverse, like in Ready Player One, where there was one big whole world there.
Yeah, I thought that
The
was
problem
a thing.
with how it works now is that every company is putting out their own digital space and calling it the metaverse.
Oh,
So,
I see. Okay.
so the thing is that whenever someone comes out and says, "Hey, we have property in the metaverse," no, you have property in this one digital space that, if you're into it, sure, it could be good, but who knows if that will stick around for a year or two.
Interesting. I see.
Yeah.
So yeah. So obviously I have no knowledge on what the metaverse is. I just figured it was like PlayStation Home for
It is.
Facebook.
Have you watched Ready Player One?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. The whole the idea of the metaverse that people are thinking of that like we would want, it would be that. We are
I see.
nowhere near that yet. We're
I see,
going
I see.
towards that, but until someone comes out with, hey, this is the biggest, more expansive, more you can do a lot of things here. That
I feel
Until
like it's
that
a
happens-
pipe dream. I feel like it's never gonna happen. I like we want, and I say like we want as if we actually want it. I don't want the metaverse.
do you know what?
Per se, but it's a nice fantasy, right? To
Yeah.
see Goku there with the Legos,
Yeah.
to see them with Square Soft properties
Yeah.
and
There you
Square
go.
Enix properties and stuff
Yeah.
like that, right? But I mean, look at the like Netflix style streaming environment right now. Every single company wants to have their own thing. You got
Yeah.
Paramount Plus, you got Hulu, you got Disney Plus, you got HBO Max, you got and they all just separate and do their own thing. You're never truly going to have one where it's all of
Yeah.
them in one place. And if we do, they're just going to be like, it's a monopoly. You can't do that. And then
Yeah, that's one thing that could happen. But you have to think that metaverse only started to be a concept being talked about like started 2 years ago, maybe at
I
most.
think last year, if anything.
Yeah, so we are very
At least
early
publicly.
on it. Yeah,
Mhm.
so we are still very early on it, where again everyone is coming up with their own version of the metaverse. what it means for the metaverse. So maybe down the line something good will come out.
Well,
Something
Lego's getting
interesting
into
will
it.
come.
Lego's creating their own metaverse now with Epic Games and Unreal Engine 5, dude.
I mean, to be fair,
it could be cool.
Fortnite turning Fortnite into a metaverse could be cool.
That would
kind of
cool.
already is one.
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah, if you just make it VR and put us in there, then that would be
make it VR, make it a world that you can do things there.
That'd be
not just
cool,
shoot each other.
That'd be pretty cool. Okay, so let me talk for a little bit, guys. Here, I gotta move into the next article.
Okay, see you guys.
Number 4, patch 6.1, Final Fantasy 14 Online. As we all know, Endwalker expansion came out.
I didn't know
that. Just a few months ago. Kyle,
didn't know.
In December, I believe it came out. And we are finally after
how
4
could
months.
You not have paid attention?
After 4 months, getting our first big expansion here. Let me go over the bullet points of what we're getting here real quick. New main scenario quests. So the story of Endwalker ended in Endwalker. So now we're getting a new found adventure.
So who was the Endwalker in the end? Was it you?
We're the Endwalker. Yeah, 100%.
So is the next one Start Runner?
No, absolutely not. New found adventures. Now we're gonna go on and become adventurers in our own worlds, and that's what we're doing here. So we got new main scenario quests, a new 24-player alliance raid, a new ultimate duty, Dragon Songs Reprise, which is in patch 6.11. New tribal quest starting with patch 6.11, and then the tribal quest patch 6.15. New residential areas, new trials, adventure plates. So now, you know how you guys played Monster Hunter. You know how you customize. Alan knows this. You know how you customize your character.
Your layered armor.
No, not your layered armor. Relax. Let me explain. Your profile card, where you have your character's pose with the card. You know, with the name, and then you have your palico.
Oh,
you have your
dude, the guild
background.
cards don't even matter.
The guild cards, yeah, exactly. So now we're getting that for Final Fantasy, where we make our own little player portraits.
Wow, Monster Hunter did it back in 2017. So,
Club Penguin did that back in 2007. Club Penguin.
What are you saying, Cuphead?
Club Penguin.
Jesus,
Gino, we're calling
Stop
Kyle
mumbling,
old.
Dude.
You're calling Kyle old.
Anyway, we're also getting new PvP. PvP similar to Overwatch, believe it or not, where we push the payload.
Wait,
and
so
the
is
other
this
team
Overwatch
is
2?
trying to stop us. Absolutely not. Overwatch 2 is canceled. You heard it here first. And then so we're getting a new PvP, small scale PvP. So I believe it's 6v6 with, believe it or not, a battle pass now. So we got a season pass now. Obviously you don't have to pay for it, Ignacio, because we already pay monthly. So a season pass where you get to level 25.
I already pay. I don't have to pay more.
So you get to level 25, you get new armor and on new stuff, new reward system, all that stuff. Freaking awesome. And then PvP gear as well. That's coming back. This used to be this was a collaboration that they did before. It's coming back. From the Japanese TV hit Garo Returns. I believe you know what that is. One of you guys got to know. Garo. No? Kyle, you know Gundam. You probably know Garo, no?
No.
Alan,
I know Haro.
You know Digimon?
From
I don't know. For bullet points, we sure are slow rolling through these.
So that is it. Of course, there's a bunch of other stuff that's coming with that patch, and we'll see what happens. That is Tuesday at the date of the release of this episode. I will be deep diving into that patch, so just think of me, all right? And that's it. And that is it for all the news of the week, for all the big news of the week, at least. We don't have a new and notable because Alan did not feel like filling it in. So we're going to move into the lightning round. There you go.
First up on the lightning round, Unreal had a showcase for their new Unreal Engine 5, which I believe has come out officially. And in that presentation, we got the announcement that Crystal Dynamics is now developing a new Tomb Raider game, of course, using the Unreal Engine 5 engine. Very exciting. The Crystal Dynamics and the Crystal Dynamics Tomb Raider games are very good games, and the Unreal Engine 5 looks very good. So,
can you imagine how good Lara Croft is going to look in Unreal Engine 5? I'm so excited, dude.
Of course,
wait until you're gonna see how good she looks as literally she gets beat the shit out of like she does in the other games.
Dude, those death screens or whatever when she Tomb Raider has some of the most gruesome deaths.
Dude, they're gonna look better in Unreal 5.
They're gonna look crazy.
More realistic.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait, dude. I can't wait.
Next up, we have the confirmation that Max Payne 1 and 2 remakes are now being worked on by Remedy and Rockstar.
Oh, by Rockstar as well.
I'm just glad Rockstar is working on something now that they've re-released GTA 5 again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
They said that it will be a remake, so I'm interested to see what the games will come out. I've never played Max Payne 1 or 2. So
because 3, I guess, is good enough already.
Also, good thing that it is Remedy working on the game and not the people that they got for the GTA trilogy remakes. So games were yikes.
Nice.
Speaking of yikes, E3 2022 has been officially cancelled. It is dead.
What'd they do? What'd they say?
Nice.
You get it?
Oh, good.
They said they'd be back this year. We were like, nope, no thanks.
So yeah, E3 2022 will not be happening, but they did say that they will come back next year. We'll see about that one.
Nope.
That's sad,
thanks.
man. You know, that's sad because I wanted to go to E3 at one point in my life, you know?
No.
Same.
I always wanted that, and I guess never again.
In a related note, Jeff Keighley has announced that his glorified Google Calendar Summer Game Fest is returning this year.
Literally any kind
E3
of event
was a glorified. Yeah,
is you can just you can put the different parts of the event on a Google Calendar. They're all Google Calendars.
Yeah, that's a bad take you have there.
But it is accurate. Next up, we have the Return to Monkey Island game has been announced. Kyle, I know how old you are, so I believe that this is a game that you played.
It's actually not. I've never played these games. I hadn't heard of these games until like this week when everyone was like, "Wow, Monkey Island! We're returning to Monkey Island!" And I'm like, I don't know what that is.
So you're gonna be that you were too old for the Monkey Island games.
I was too young.
Too young, he said.
Is it weird that like I kind of know Monkey Island because of Neil Druckmann?
No, I've kind of heard of it as well. Yeah. Don't know about it though.
That's the second biggest cistern I've ever seen. What's the first? I'll tell you later.
Next news story. Some very exciting news. Fortnite no build mode will now be a permanent separate mode for Fortnite Battle Royale.
I will still never play it.
This has been the best thing that they've done for themselves.
I will agree.
Best thing they've done for themselves. It's
I played it with my friends, and I have to say I've been having a lot of fun with no build mode.
It's like a whole.
So you were never good enough for build mode, so they had to make it easier for you.
Yeah. So what?
Yeah.
So what?
So what?
No, it's
Alan. This is a shooter. It's a battle royale game. It is in Minecraft.
Honestly, no build mode kind of makes me want to play Fortnite, but I still won't.
I'm a shooter, not a builder, Alan.
Yeah.
I'm a shooter.
Why can't you be both?
This is another Lego Metaverse.
A shoulder.
It is in Lego Metaverse, okay?
A shoulder.
This is the metaverse. Dude. We can do whatever we want.
You gotta be a shooter and a builder.
Speaking of shooter, a new Ghost Recon game might be in development. That's all I wrote here. I don't know.
There's a lot of games that might be in development, you know?
Well,
to be honest, I don't know what the new story is.
To add to that news, they stopped supporting Breakpoint and Wildlands. Like they said, like we're gonna stop.
Oh,
nice.
Supporting like the servers are gonna go like whatever. So
Well,
I guess
they
aren't
gotta
working
use
anyway.
that Town Classic license for something, I guess.
Yeah.
Next news story: an THQ Nordic Digital Showcase is now set for August 12th.
Gosh, it's so weird. I feel like they didn't that just happen?
No idea.
THQ
No idea
Nordic.
when the last one was, but
Which one was the one with I was Devolver
Gino, there's
Digital.
too many. Gino, there's
Go
too many
Mark
events
Hamill.
to try to figure them all out.
Which
yeah,
was the one Mark Hamill?
Devolver had Mark Hamill, yeah.
Devolver had Mark Hamill. THQ was something else.
There's too many events.
There is, it's true.
Who's the cat that keeps me out?
Yeah, Kyle, you got a vocal boy over there. I think that's you.
It's my girlfriend's cat. I'm the only one.
That was you?
that
That's what I was hearing.
No, we're shut. I'm not sure if it'll come through in the recording, but he's just been sitting outside the door, just being like,
Yeah, literally. I know when the cat's making some sound because I see your Discord box light up green, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yep.
My Discord will pick it up, but I don't think it'll be in the actual thing because I can see when I'm not talking and it's so
I heard
whatever.
it there though. I heard it just a second ago. I heard it.
He was
I heard it there.
like right back there.
I don't know how you only just heard it. Like I've been hearing it, but like maybe because I have cats, like I just know the sound.
Yeah, I've been hearing it for a while too.
Hearing it, yeah.
Well, you're there, Kyle. If you didn't hear it, that'd be weird.
We have cats.
And finally, some very good news. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, an expanding reimagining of the 2013 classic game, is set to release on PC and consoles on April 27th. So if you haven't played the Stanley Parable, I highly recommend that you try it out.
That's the game with the achievement where you
It's
don't
just
play
a
for
walking
5
sim,
years,
right?
Right?
I don't know about that achievement, but
You don't know about that achievement?
It isn't a walking. Well, maybe you can classify it as a walking
Ignacio,
simulator, but it is a very
achievement.
funny game. It is a very funny game that
There's this
gives you a
achievement
lot of liberty.
in the Stanley Parable where if you have it downloaded, I don't know, if you don't play it for 5 years, you get an achievement that says "Go outside" or "Went outside" or
I
something.
don't know.
Look it up, dude. That's
I could
cool.
check it out. I
That's
could
just
open
such a
Steam,
cool.
but,
That's such a neat little thing that they did.
Gino, the achievement is called Go Outside. To get this achievement, you have to wait 5 years without opening the game.
Isn't that cool? I think
5
that's so cool.
years.
I wonder when was the last time that I played it.
Was
it has
5
been
years
years.
ago? Maybe you've
I don't
gotten
know
the achievement.
I don't know
then.
if 5, but it has been years.
I heard the cat there. I heard the cat there hard.
No, how you can't hear it the whole time.
He
I
is
hear it every
just
once in a while.
talking up a storm.
Okay.
You got it?
Last played June 5th, 2016.
So you can
been
get
5
it now.
years.
Yeah.
No, wait. No, it hasn't been 5 years yet.
Yeah,
June
it has been.
6th,
Yeah,
16.
it's been
2016. Oh,
2016, so
2021. So you got the achievement.
Wow,
Check if you have it.
Gino.
Wow.
Check if
How
you have
deep
it.
did that bleach go into your hair?
Very deep, apparently.
Did you get it then, Ignacio, or what?
No thoughts, just bleach.
Those are-
What?
No.
What?
Did you get the achievement or no?
Do you want me to get it now?
You'd have to open the game, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, will you?
Oh, I see.
He'll get it afterwards.
That's cool, though. Isn't that cool, though?
Let's just move on.
Yeah, it is cool.
Anyway. right.
We're done with Lightning Round.
Okay, so that is it, and that's everything we got written on the doc, my friends. That's all we got to talk about. Last few things we got to talk about here. Kyle, what are you excited for this week?
Keep setting up my little podcast room here. That'll be pretty cool. Keep playing Kirby. Keep playing Triangle Strategy. I think that's kind of it right now. I was hoping to play Ghostwire Tokyo, but all the reviews have kind of persuaded me not to. So
Yeah.
Say that's a safe bet.
excited
That's it.
about other things instead. Yeah.
Cool.
Safe bet.
And then, Alan, what are you excited for this week?
Well, with my new Sony earbuds that were a lot of money, actually, I'm hoping the weather will finally not freaking rain so I can finally bust out my bike to do my first bike ride of the year.
Oh, okay.
Because it keeps looking like it's nice enough at like low 50s, but then check the weather, 100% rain.
Yeah.
Looks outside, fucking raining.
It's been very weird here as well, where it's like it's hot as heck one day, and then we're like, all right, so we're back to normal. It's spring. It's getting warmer.
But has it snowed? Has it snowed again?
No, it hasn't snowed. And then it's
Yeah, it
like 40
snowed
degrees
here
at
again.
one point. It's crazy. Freaking wild.
We had like a 52-degree day, and then 2 days later, snow.
Anyway, Ignacio, what are you excited for this week?
It's Easter. Is it next week?
It is Easter, yeah.
Yeah. Keep playing Lego Star Wars, I guess.
Easter
Okay.
is actually the week after next because it's on a Sunday. Sunday's the first day of a new week. So
No, because you have Good Friday and Good Saturday.
Good Friday. Can't forget Good Friday.
yeah, but Easter's on Sunday.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it is Easter Sunday. Well, okay, fine. It's Easter
Sunday.
weekend.
I am excited for. Well, actually, one thing I'm excited for, I do want to mention. I got that Chrono Cross game on Switch.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna go ahead and play that. I never played Chrono Cross before.
I'm actually excited to hear your thoughts next week.
But little tidbit on this as well that I do have to mention. I
Do you?
just so you guys know, and for everyone listening, I received this game for free from Square Enix. So
What?
yeah, so I applied for
Squaresoft.
like a not
Squaresoft,
from
no.
Squaresoft.
Yeah, it isn't
So
20 years ago.
I have to read this. Hold on, give me a second here. So I have to prominently state and or display that I have this. I am sponsored by Square Enix because thanks Square Enix for giving me
Box
this
checked.
this copy of this game. So
Hell yeah.
Wait, how did
there
that
you go.
happen?
so I actually went to this website. I'll tell you guys about it after. But I just applied for I gave them information. I was like, hey, I would love the whatever, and then I surprisingly got accepted. So
Oh, yeah.
so I got accepted for that. But yeah, so they gave me that copy of the game, and I'm excited to try it out. And also, aside from that, freaking BTS concert next weekend. So, as you guys know, I love BTS very much, and I'm very, very excited, and I still can't believe it that I'm finally going to see them in person. So, very excited there. But yeah, socials. You guys can find me over on Twitter at Gino_VTerry. Kyle, where can people find you on the internet?
At Yo Kyle Springer on Twitter.
Excellent. Alan, what about you?
You can also find me at Twitter at Alan Busby.
Perfect. Ignacio Rojas B. Where can they find you on Twitter?
You can also find me on Twitter at Ignacio Rojas B. That's IGNACIOROJASB.
Perfect. And you can find all of us over at the Whatnauts on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all socials that you want. We are on there. Just search up the Whatnauts, every single one,
TikTok.
even the ones that don't exist yet. Even the ones that don't exist yet, we're on it. So just search the Whatnauts, all one word, and you will find our shows there. But the show you've listened to now has been Crossplay, and you have been played. Till next time.
Peace.